Yo, what's up, cyberpunks and retro nerds? It's your host, Tommy the Hammer. How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another edition of Neon Trash. Today I thought we would check out the 1989 epic period piece, Henry V. And back in the day, 1989, I never actually watched this movie when it first came out. I was way too busy checking out movies like Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Gremlins, Nightmare on Elm Street, things like that. So a movie like this just kind of slipped between the cracks for me. Well, today I'm totally righting that wrong. Here on Neon Trash, I'm going to peep the flick, you guys are going to peep the trailer, and when we get back, you're going to know my opinion on Henry V. Don't go anywhere, guys.
It was a time of courtiers and kings. It was the turning point for the English throne.
May I, with right and conscience, make this claim?
It was one of history's greatest adventures, led by a soldier who wouldn't retreat.
Once more into the breach there, friend! Once more!
A lover who wouldn't give up.
Is it possible that I should love the enemy of France?
But in loving me, you should love the friend of France.
A leader who upheld justice.
For when lenity and cruelty play for a kingdom, the gentler gamester is the soonest winner.
A rebel who wouldn't give in.
What say you? Will you yield?
Now forth, Lord Constable, and princes all, and quickly bring us word of England's fall.
A king who defied the odds to prove himself a man.
This story shall the good man teach his son. From this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered.
We few, we happy few, we band of brothers.
The Samuel Goldwyn Company presents a bold new film by Kenneth Branagh, Henry V.
Okay, guys, I'm going to be straightforward with you. I found this movie to be an immensely difficult film to review, and I'm going to elaborate to you guys a little bit on why that is. With Henry V, I feel like I bit off a little bit more than I could chew. And, you know, when it comes down to the work of William Shakespeare, I'm no stranger. I mean, in middle school and high school, we were required to read a lot of his material. I can get into the stories of Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet and, you know, things of that nature. But for some reason, in regards to Henry V, I just found myself not really gravitating towards this movie, you know, whatsoever. Now, that's not to say this is a bad film by, you know, any stretch of the word, because it's not. Actually, I found a lot to like in this movie, and this is 1989, so I found the sets to be very engaging, the costumes to be very realistic, the actors really, you know, swept me away with their gusto and dedication to the roles. With this film, it's very entrenched in the linguistics and dialogue of William Shakespeare. And, you know, I started thinking about the film and, you know, reflecting upon, you know, did I actually watch this movie back in the day? Did a middle school teacher or high school teacher show this to us? And was I bored out of my mind back then? Because I was getting an overall sense of deja vu when I was watching this movie. But it was like I was saying, the production value of this film is just fantastic. It's beautiful to look at. And the end battle sequence is just amazing. One of the cooler aspects of this film that I found was that there is a young Christian Bale in this movie. Well before he was kicking everyone's ass in Batman and as John Connor in Terminator Salvation. And I feel like the director really approaches the source material from a different angle. The movie begins with a narrator that you think is in Shakespearean time, but he's not. He's on a soundstage with lights and set designs and, cameras and things of that nature. And, as you're watching that opening scene, you realize that the director is setting the stage, quite literally speaking, for the movie-watching audience. This is Henry V for cinema. And, I can appreciate that. I really can. It really doesn't speak to me, so my star count might seem a little unfair to you guys watching this review. Out of 10 stars, I could only give Henry V 6 out of 10. If you're into this type of film, if you like Shakespearean dialogue and sweeping epics that are, heavily entrenched in the time period, then definitely check this out. But if this isn't your cup of tea and, long-winded scenes of, thick Shakespearean dialogue kind of bores you, then you may want to steer clear of this one.